Hi, my name's Pastor Bill, and welcome to Experience God's Love Today. Here I am out at Collinwood Park near my hometown of Dassel, Minnesota. I love this place. I love to come out here and do some praying and get by myself. And of course, this time of year it's fall, and you might even be able to hear some hunters taking some shots at deer not too far from here, although they're not allowed to hunt in the park. But they're all allowed to hunt outside of the park here. It's just beautiful to get alone and get with God, and I just so welcome you to this ministry website, and it's our heart's desire to help people. Our vision at Experience God's Love Today is to help people reach their full potential in Christ through biblical principles and the practical and masterful teachings of Jesus. You know, Jesus loved people. He was accepting. He was in the trenches with them, moved with compassion for lepers and the downcast of his day, moved with compassion for them. And that's what we want here at Experience God's Love Today. You know, a question that's often asked in Christianity is, do you know where you're going when you die? A better question, and maybe it's the same question, paradoxically, is do you know where you're going when you actually start living? When we start living and start giving our life away in service to others as Jesus did. And again, the paradox of it is we must die to live, die to the human nature of lack and limitation, selfishness, unforgiveness, so that God can express himself in and through us and be in service to others. We must put ourselves, or take up our cross and follow him. Put our pride and our ego on that cross, die to self, and again, so God can express himself in and through us and have us be and fulfill those beautiful purposes he's ordained for us in our lives. Salvation is just not a destination, but it's a journey of inner freedom that God has intended for us to experience. And again, that takes getting over ourselves. And it's not always easy to do that. As I once heard a statement like this, that someone actually said, I killed my pride only to find it resurrecting to plan its own funeral. And I find that to be so true in this process and journey of salvation and Christianity. You know, in life, our mess does become our message. And I started this ministry because I was a Christian for almost 15 years before I was able to experience God's love for myself. I had so many judgments levied against myself that I couldn't win with God to save my life. Yes, I know that it was my own inner turmoil, my own inner thoughts, and interaction with myself that had me showing up not good in the eyes of God. I had transference, and I couldn't live up to my own earthly father, and I transferred that onto God. I actually could live up to my own father. My own father loved me very much. I just didn't think he did. And I had my own junk I had to work through. But as soon as I saw that I had all these judgments and all this ick, so to speak, in my life, I let it go. I realized that ick is kind of a good word to use in Christianity because we all have experienced it. In fact, I was sharing a message at my own hometown nursing home at the Cokato Manor. And as I was sharing, I was talking about agree with your adversary or settle matters quickly with your adversary and do it while you're on the way to court with them, or he'll hand you over to the judge and the judge to the officer, and they'll cast you into prison, and you won't get out of prison until you've paid the last penny. And my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Melba Johnson, was there as I was sharing. And I just said, after reading that Bible verse, that, if we can't get rid of or let go of our judgments that we have against ourselves and others, life shows up icky. And for a minute, because my 5th grade teacher was there, I got embarrassed that I used the word icky in a sermon. So I just said it in front of everybody, and there wasn't a lot of people there, about 20 people maybe. I said to Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Johnson, is icky even a word? And without hesitation, she said, it's a good one. And I've discovered it really is. People relate to icky and ick. So, like I said, our mess becomes our message. And I didn't love myself and had my own inner ick going on. And when I let that go, when I discovered I didn't have to listen to all these voices that were going on in my head, all these thoughts that would come, then I thought, I didn't think, but I started to experience freedom. I don't have to listen to that stuff. I can settle matters quickly with my adversary. In other words, I can let go of my disempowering thoughts and feelings that I have about myself and others quickly. And thus, when I did that, when I let go of that stuff, and I still let go of it, it's a daily basis. You're doing it all the time while you're on the way to court with them. If you let go of it soon, you can keep experiencing freedom. But if we hang on to that stuff like I did, I was locked up in prison of these judgments and assessments that I had against myself and others. So it's a good thing to let them go, and that's what we're about at Experience God's Love today. We're about helping people experience the inner freedom that God intended them to experience. And I'm so thankful and grateful that you're visiting this website and using the blogs and the videos of this website to bring and to continue to walk in that inner freedom. We don't have anything that's outside of the Bible, and Jesus' teachings were absolutely masterful, and his teachings bring freedom if we really get what they mean. And the agree with your adversary scriptures, and another one, of Jesus' teachings is love your enemies. And I always thought in Christianity that I just had to tough it out against those people that didn't like me. But, Jesus is so far ahead in his teachings and knowing human nature that he knows that if we have an enemy, then we have enmity, or we have something out of line in our hearts. So if we practice loving our enemies, like Jesus said to do, then our enemies disappear. Exactly the same way, and it harmonizes with the plank that Jesus talked about. Jesus said, judge not lest you be judged. He said, why do you look at the speck that's in your brother's eye when you got a plank in your eye? And I just got that when I started to work at whittling away at my plank, when I got that I can't fix or change anybody but myself, that others changed before me. So when I share that message, I'll say that, Jewish rabbi said 2,000 years ago that one should work on getting the plank out of their eye. And since I've been working at whittling away at that plank, the speck that looms so annoyingly large in your eye has suddenly disappeared. Funny how that works. When I let go and let God work in and through me, others change right before me, sometimes in a moment and in a twinkling of an eye as I change. So Jesus' teachings are transformational if we actually practice them and believe the possibility of transformation that's within them. I just want to again thank you for stopping by this website, and we can do all things, and all things are possible through Christ who strengthens us. Blessings to you, and have a great day.